Today, we're going to be taking a look at MVVM or model view model approach. Well, to be honest, MVVM is the base of any Xamarin Forms application, and even the applications that based on XAML like WPF or UWP applications. Well, I'm a big fan of MVVM, and it's a great way of architecture the code to protect your business logic from your user interface. I'm going to talk a little bit about the architecture of MVVM because it's really important for us to know that how MVVM works. So let's talk about the MVVM or model view model pattern and understand how it is working. The MVVM pattern is evolution of the very well-known MVC pattern, that is model view controller pattern. Model view controller is quite an old pattern. It was developed around late 90s, 1984, and it was widely used especially in web-based frameworks. Here we have a model, which is where the data comes from. It could be a database, it could be a web service, etc. Then we have a view, which is what the user is seeing. And we have a controller, which is coordinating all the actions. It is in charge of refreshing the model, it is in charge of displaying the data in the view, and it is in charge of reacting to events from the view. Well, MVC is very widely used in web applications, but when you work with XAML or mobile applications, then there is another pattern which is even better, especially because of the data binding system. So, in the MVVM pattern, we basically deals with three layers. The one is model, the second is the view, and the third is the view model. A view is defined in XAML and should not have any logic in the code behind. This view could be anything. It could be Xamarin Forms pages, it could be an Android XML file, or it could be an iOS storyboard file. It's just how you display the information. Then we have the view model, and we will see that how the data and events are flowing here. Your view model is the demonstration of what you want to be displayed. It handles how data is flowing to and from your view. In addition, when the view has some events such as the click of a button, it will pass that to the view model. The view model will interact and pass some data back. So under the hood, what this view model is doing? Well, this view model is interacting with your model, your business logic, your data objects, maybe your Azure storage or anywhere your data is living. So this way, your view is not talking directly to the data. It's talking via view model. Now let's suppose I have some code in the view model and I want to show this in my view. So how to pass the data from the view model to the view? And here comes the magical framework of data binding. Well, data binding is like a glue that magically binds your view to the view model specifically. And in Xamarin Forms, we have a very good sport of data binding. Alright, let's dive more deeper into the MVVM. I have already mentioned that between the view and the view model, there is a data binding framework. And this data binding framework is used to pass the information to the view from the view model and from the view to the view model. But very often, we have data binding going between our view and the model classes directly. And let me clear things again. It's said that view don't talk directly with the model, but this is not always true. Sometimes situation comes when it's necessary to create a binding between the view and the model. And as we move forward in this course, we will take a more closer look via practical implementation.